Welcome to Maldon Part 2. Paul, Karen, and Zephyr are going to explore the National Trust and the women in black.
Yeah, stay to the end of the video because you're going to find out that Maldon District has appeared on a number of television and movies throughout the years. Our journey into The Woman in Black takes us back to the plot, which is set in the early 20th century in England. Follows a young widowed lawyer travels to a remote village where he discovers that the vengeful ghost of a scorned woman is terrorizing the locals. The Woman in Black is a 1987 stage play, adapted by Stephen Mallatrat. The play is currently being produced by PW Productions, led by Peter Wilson. It is notable for having two actors perform the whole play. It was first performed at Stephen Joseph Theatre in Scarborough in 1987. It's also based on the Gothic novel by Susan Hill of the same name. The play was originally adapted by Stephen Mallatrat as a cheap Christmas play intended to use the remains of the grant money at the theatre he had received. And I've seen this at the theatre in 2001, and I can tell you, it's truly terrifying. Maldon District has provided a backdrop to many films, including The Mercy, starring Colin Firth and Rachel Weisz, the incredible story of an amateur sailor, Donald Crowhurst, and his solo attempt to circumnavigate the globe.
Chances of survival would be 50-50. If I turn back, I face certain ruin. I can't go on, and I can't go home. So where else is there? I'm here. What if I tell them I'm here?
And of course, other titles such as The Woman in Black, Lawless Heart, and A Pattern of Roses. The Maldon District has also appeared on television, including The Britain of Low Tide, The Third Day, Tales of the Coast, and Robson Green.
Today we are very excited because we are back to Maldon and we visited Northey Island. Daniel Radcliffe was the main star of the movie Woman in Black. Some of the scenes was made in the island we visited now, Northey Island.
But first, let me take you back to the 1989 version adapted by Nigel Neal for television.
Nothing to do with it. I simply don't. I can't. I mean, I've told you I can't. I'm needed here.
Starring Adrian Rawlings as Arthur Kidd, Bernard Hepton as Sam Toovey, David Dacre as Josiah Preston, Pauline Moran, Woman in Black, directed by Nigel Neal, this 1989 TV classic. While a friendless old widow dies in the seaside town of Critton, a young solicitor is sent by his firm to settle the estate. The lawyer finds the townspeople reluctant to talk about or go near the woman's dreary home, and no one will explain or even acknowledge the menacing woman in the black he keeps seeing. Ignoring the townspeople's cryptic warnings, he goes to the house where he discovers its horrible history and becomes ensnared in its even more horrible legacy.
Excuse me, you dropped those. Mrs. Drablow?
Yes.
Don't tell me you're a relative.
I'm her solicitor.
On the way to the funeral?
I am.
You're about the only person there is.
Well, I gather she had no immediate family.
No friends.
An old woman living alone, you might expect her to be a bit of a recluse.
Did you know that Adrian Rawlings, who played Arthur Kidd in this 1989 version of The Woman in Black, later played James Potter, father to Harry Potter in the Harry Potter films? Harry Potter was played by Daniel Radcliffe, and Daniel would later go on to portray the same character, Arthur Kidd, in the 2012 version of The Woman in Black. So what we're doing right now is trying to find the directions to the island. It's not exactly clear when you come here. There's a canoeing club to the left of me right here. That seems to be... So it's a 15-minute walk, which isn't too far. So we'll be there soon. And whilst we're doing that, we'll give you a little bit of information about Northey Island, what was filmed here, and also what the National Trust says about the place as well. Northey Island is an island in the estuary of the River Blackwater, Essex. It is linked to the south bank of the river by a causeway, covered by 2 hours either side of high tide. The island is approximately 1 mile or 2 kilometres to the east of Maldon, Essex, and 1 mile or 2 kilometres to the west of Osea Island. The whole island and part of the bank near the causeway are now a national nature reserve. Northey is home to diverse bird life, and this is reflected in the place name Owl Creek, which perpetuates the traditional Essex dialect word for the avocet. The island is uninhabited apart from the warden. The island is owned by the National Trust and can be visited by arrangement with the warden. It is one of 43 unbridged tidal islands which can be walked to from the British mainland and one of 6 islands in Essex. The National Trust's own overview of Northey Island says Northey was to become the oldest recorded battlefield in Britain when Viking raiders used the island as a base during the Battle of Maldon in AD 1991, an encounter also mentioned in England's earliest known poem. Mind must be firmer, heart more fierce, courage the greater as our strength diminishes. So here we are, walking towards Northey Island. I think the information says that, what did it say?
Next high tide is at 10:34 p.m.
And they're saying that we can actually cross it now. Well, all we can do is go there now and see if we can cross and hopefully...
Cross back.
It's low tide here at the moment. You can see all the wildlife, but we're in October. So if you are National Trust enthusiasts and you like walking, come to Northey Island. It takes about 15 minutes to get there. That's what they're saying. We don't know yet. We're not there. And it's along the side of the estuary here, which is quite nice.
We are just walking to cross to the island.
Yeah, I've already told them that.
Oh, I'm just excited to see what is in the other side and explore the island.
I wonder if the building is still there that they filmed in. You know, that creepy old building that Daniel Radcliffe has to encounter the ghost, the woman in black.
The building is there, but it's rented to a private to someone. So
Well, maybe they'll let us have some tea, you know, and use their bathroom. You never know. Being a diabetic, I have to have something sweet even for a 15-minute track.
That's nice.
This kind of reminds me of that TV series, had about 3 or 4 episodes. It was about an individual who went to an island to find his daughter, and he couldn't find her, but he found these villagers there instead. And as things unraveled, you realise that they were setting him up to be the leader of this cult on this island. Ooh, spooky.
You have to stay here in paradise forever.
Well, you can't leave.
Excuse me.
Just about to do it ourselves. Is the night chilly and dark? The night is chilly but not dark. The thin grey cloud is spread on high. It covers but not hides the sky. So where was the woman in black actually filmed? Unfortunately, we're not able to go to O.C. Island. The fictional 9 Lives causeway leading to it was filmed at O.C. Island in Essex. If you've seen the movie The Woman in Black, this really is quite spooky. The population of the island is included in the civil parish of Heybridge. Northey Island lies about a mile west of Mersey Island, and I'll put a link to the video that I've made about that here.
Yum.
So what did the woman in black actually want? She wanted to ensure that no member of the township can escape having to feel the agony that she was put through in losing her own child. On the 30th of December 2014, The Woman in Black, The Angel of Death, is the follow-up to the first film, based upon the original novel of Susan Hill from 1983. But Daniel Radcliffe, the star of the Harry Potter franchise, would not be available to star in the sequel. And we, who had never been to the island ourselves, quite excited to find out what is actually on the island and what actual house resides there. Very excited to find out. And as you can see, this path, which is covered by bushes, leads us straight up to where the house is. And here it is. Not yet. Looking around the grounds, it actually looks like a film set which has been untouched. And you wouldn't necessarily immediately think that this is a National Trust site. There's no one around. The time has come, the walrus said, to talk of many things. I am the walrus.
You are. You are the walrus.
Supposedly, there is a gap in the hedge on the left just before the cottage sign private. If your National Trust, this doesn't count. However, we kept finding that there were lots of hedges all the way around and we couldn't find it. So they said it would take about 15 minutes. It's taken us probably about an hour. And I think that's because we've been dawdling, looking at things on the way, having some lunch. But we're here now, on the island. I know what you're thinking. That's the house that Daniel Radcliffe made his movie, The Woman in Black. Well, actually, no. Sorry to disappoint. Actually, the exterior shots were made at Cotterstock Hall, the setting for the supernatural horror, The Woman in Black, starring Daniel Radcliffe, and is on the market, if you're interested, for $900,000 or 1.1 million. This little cottage, unfortunately, is not that house. Even so, that didn't actually stop us from walking around the property and having a little look. And to be honest, it looked a little bit abandoned and a little bit disheveled and probably not used in quite some time, especially because of COVID-19. The house is actually South House Farm. Behind the farm is the site of the Battle of Maldon in 991. The battle was probably fought over these fields and up to the hill on which Maldon was built. The battle was a victory for the Viking invaders over the British, Danish soldiers. Behind the farm, too, is the causeway to Northey Island. The Vikings camped. While we were here, we were looking around and we weren't afraid. There wasn't anything particularly spooky. It was a little bit abandoned, a little bit dingy. But actually, whilst we were here, we did actually experience something that we cannot explain. And this is what happened. What was that? Okay.
I went upstairs, Dad.
I heard some noises like a cart, people. As I was walking that way, I heard some noises of people over there. I was walking that way and there was a load of people talking and there's no one there.
Oh.
There are oddly some things in life that you just can't explain. We were just standing there dumbstruck, not really being able to understand exactly what we heard. It sounds like it's people. We can't tell for sure. But we'll leave that up for you to decide. Was it just rustling in the trees and sounds that sounded very similar to something like people? We don't know. We'll leave that up to you. Anyway, boop the like button and also subscribe, especially if you know the answer to the question that we asked you. What is those sounds? Subscribe if you know the answer. Hit that notification bell and leave a comment which is your favorite Woman in Black version. Have you seen all of them, the 1989 version or the Daniel Radcliffe one? Have you been to Northey Island? What do you think of the place? Have you visited the house? Have you actually visited the film set itself in the different locations? Let us know in the comment section below. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, and if you want to see the first video, Welcome to Maldon, I'll leave a link here.